Recording.
Yeah, so if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Lee. I've been a vegan for 44 years and still going strong. And for all of that time, I've also been a campaigner for animal liberation.
Perfect. So can you tell us why you're vegan, what inspired you to become vegan?
Well, I started off by becoming a vegetarian when I was, I think I was 18 or 19. And it's through my sister's boyfriend at the time, who later became a husband, was a vegetarian, and I was curious about what he was, and my sister explained to me that it was because he thought it was wrong for animals to be killed for food because we didn't need to eat meat. He was also a really good athlete. He represented the county as a junior athlete. So he was a very fit guy. He'd been vegan for quite a few years, a vegetarian rather, for quite a few years. And that played on my mind. I was a big meat eater, but it kind of, it nagged away at me that I should become vegetarian. And after just a few days, I actually did. And I was a vegetarian for 2 years without realising, like a lot of people who are vegetarian, what happens in the egg and dairy industry. I didn't realise about all the slaughter and suffering of the cows and the calves and the chickens. And then in the town centre near where I lived, there was a health food shop, and I went in there and picked up a copy of the Vegetarian Society's magazine. And when I read through that, there are articles in there about veganism, about vivisection, about the fur trade, about hunting, and all these things that I wasn't aware of. And so I was horrified about this. And I sent away to all these organisations, including the Vegan Society, got information. And within a couple of weeks of that time, I became vegan. And that was when I was 21.
Amazing. So what sort of reactions do people have?
Well, my mum, when my sister and I became vegetarian, of course, during this time, we were young, we were still living at home with our parents. When my sister and I became vegetarian, we walked into the kitchen and my mum said, "What do you want for breakfast? Do you want egg and bacon, or do you want bacon and egg?" or something like that. And I said, "Oh no," I said, "we'll just have cornflakes." And she immediately realised what happened, because she didn't like my sister's boyfriend. She didn't like it that he was a vegetarian. And she said to me, "I knew it. That crank's got to you. You've become bloody vegetarian. Go out in the garden and eat the grass. It needs cutting." See, that's what she said. She wasn't very happy about it. And then when I became vegan, because my mum used to cook us the vegetarian part of the meal as well as the rest of the meal, she'd normally buy stuff from the supermarket, like a cheese and onion pie, or she'd do an omelette or something like that. So it was still animal products. And then when I became vegan a couple of years later, I said to my mum, "Look, I don't want you to cook that anymore. I don't eat any animal products." And my mum said to me, "Okay," she said, "but you can make that yourself." She said, "I'm not going to make that, but you'll be dead within a year." Okay. So anyway, so I got myself a little enamel pot, and in those days you couldn't get any of the meat substitutes and stuff that you get today. And so I'd buy dry beans and lentils and soak them and boil them in my little pot, and then I'd fry up some onions and tomatoes and stuff and mix them in. And my mum would make the rest of the dinner, potatoes and vegetables, and I'd have my little savoury that I'd cooked on the side. And I'd been a vegan, or I thought I'd been a vegan, for about 10 days. And I'd left my little pot boiling on the stove, and I walked in the kitchen and I caught my mum breaking an egg into the pot. And I said, "Hey Mum, what are you doing? I don't eat eggs." And she turned around to me, she said, "I'm keeping you alive." And I said to her, "Look," I said, "No," I said, "I don't need to do it. I don't want you breaking an egg into my food." I said, "Don't eat eggs." And she said, "All right." I said, "I won't do it anymore." but if you die, you die. Well, 44 years later, I've not died yet. So I think she's a little bit wrong that year has lasted quite a long time. I was going to die within. So anyway, as far as I know, she didn't put any more eggs in my food, and so I've become a proper vegan since then.
Did you feel a difference when you took the meat and dairy out of your diet? Did you feel a difference in yourself? Because a lot of people say they feel healthier or energised.
Yes, I mean, I felt better because I was no longer involved in contributing to animal slaughter and suffering. I think it was that made me feel good.
Yeah.
I think it quite definitely is a healthier diet. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's all sorts of unhealthy stuff about eating animal products and you know, the vegan diet can be very much healthier than a diet containing animal products. Of course, it depends what kind of vegan diet people eat. I mean, there are good vegan diets. I mean, I knew a guy that was vegan who lived on beer and chips and cigarettes. Well, he wasn't going to be very healthy on that, you know. So, but if you eat like a well-balanced vegan diet with lots of basic ingredients, lots of vegetables, you know, pulses and nuts in your diet, and you know, the meat substitutes are great. They're very good these days, and the cheese substitutes. They're very good. They're tasty. You know, by all means, eating some of them. They're very good for getting meat eaters and cheese eaters over to being vegan. But I think they're not a thing to just eat totally.
Yeah.
I think they should really, once somebody's a vegan, those ought to fit only form part of your diet, and really it's very important to cook things from the healthy basic ingredients and have lots of salads, lots of fresh vegetables and stuff like that, and you will be healthy. Yeah, you know, and I've never ever regretted going vegan, and I hope I'll be vegan for many years to come. Well, I will be vegan until I die. I just hope that's going to be a long way off.
Do you sort of like hold any grudges, or do you feel, you know, when you meet somebody who eats meat and you talk to them, and a lot of our friends even are like, I don't care, I love the taste of meat, I don't care what happens to the animals, and that makes us really angry. But do you have like feel an anger towards people?
Well, it is appalling, isn't it, that just for a taste, somebody just for the taste of something is prepared to for animals to go through that horrific and totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, you know, what if I like the taste of little children? I'll go and eat them, shall I? A nice taste, and you know, what you're telling me that it's wrong to eat little children, that don't matter. I like the taste of them, so I'll do it. You know, it's just a ridiculous excuse. You know, because you enjoy doing something. I expect Gary Glitter enjoyed doing what he did, but that doesn't make it right, does it? You know, so no, I think it's pretty appalling when people say that, to be honest. But I think we've just got to keep, you know, with some people I think that might be a first reaction.
Yeah.
Because people don't like change, you see. I think this is a basic trait within human beings that, you know, none of us really are brilliant at coping with change, and some, you know, some less than others. And I think people don't like change. They don't like to be different to other people. It's never bothered me about being different to other people. In fact, if I was the same as other people, I'd probably hate it. But I think with most people, that they want to be the same as everyone else. So there's these barriers in the way of going vegan and adopting a diet which is, you know, at the moment, you know, very much a minority diet and lifestyle, but I don't think it will always be.
Yeah. Do you think a lot more people, do you think it's possible that the world could be vegan?
Oh yes, absolutely. I think it's possible that the world could be vegan. I think we could make the world vegan, but I think the key aspect of making the world vegan is we have to educate people. We have to get out there and educate people, and the only people that are going to do that education are vegans. I mean, meat eater isn't going to educate another person to be vegan. Only a vegan to do that can do that. And I think all vegans, you know, what all vegans need to accept and need to realise is that if we want animal liberation, if we want a world where animals are no longer, or other animals, I'd say, because of course humans are animals too, but other animals are no longer exploited and persecuted and killed and abused and tortured, etc., etc., etc. That we have to educate and persuade as many people as possible to go vegan. And the only way of doing that is to get out there, amongst the public and educate people with street stalls, with leafleting, putting leaflets through letterbox, having stalls at events, all sorts of stuff that's going to be letters in the paper, articles in the paper, stuff like that ordinary people see, where we can educate them to go vegan. And it's vital that all vegans get involved in that. Even if you've only got a little bit of spare time, it doesn't take any time to go and put leaflets through letterboxes, does it? Or help someone do a street stall perhaps for a couple of hours or anything like that. It's really important that all vegans, because the problem we've got is that, well, it's great that we've got a lot more vegans now than, when I was first became vegan, it was like, because I think the Vegan Society opened a bottle of champagne because there were so few people were vegan in those days. But now, there's lots and lots more vegans, which is brilliant, and it's so much easier to be a vegan in many ways these days. But the problem is so few vegans actually get involved in spreading the message. Most vegans are happy to mix with other vegans, swap recipes, and do social events, and that's great. I do those things myself, but we also have to get out there. We have to educate people as much as we can.
I do find though, I've tried to talk to my family about it, I've tried to talk to my friends, and they just shut you down straight away. They say, well, you used to do this, and you've done this, and you did this once, and you wear leather shoes sometimes, and they always turn it on you. And I try and tell people in a nice way, and I feel like they feel like we're pushing it on them.
Well, I think it can be, particularly difficult with your family, because they're the people that are close to you. I haven't succeeded with my family. My mum's still alive. She's 95, my mum now, so she's done all right, and she's never eaten much meat. But there's no way I'd be able to persuade her to become vegan.
Yeah.
And my sister's still a vegetarian, despite kind of knowing all the reasons why I'm vegan. She hasn't become vegan. So sometimes